Hey everybody, welcome to module number 7. I'm here tonight at soccer practice and I wanted to touch base about this last module. So the intent of this last module is to tie in the various concepts that we've touched on previously in the course, and we're going to pull it all together to establish a sociocultural approach to teaching. Now, one of you mentioned in a part of your paper that although we've talked about lots of these different topics in class, there really is no way or no guide to say this is how to become a socially conscious teacher. And that's absolutely true. And that's largely because being a socially conscious educator is going to look different for each of you. It's going to depend on who you are and your background and the lens with which you see the world. And it's also going to depend on who your students are and the types of students that you're teaching. So part of that, I think a really big part of being a socially conscious educator is being your authentic self. I think that if I were to try to come into a classroom and try to be someone that I'm not, then I just come off looking kind of like a poser and not like somebody who is trying to authentically forge relationships with students or be conscious of various social factors that may impact my teaching and their learning. In this particular module, we are going to examine 3 additional concepts related to becoming a socially conscious educator: the perception of PE teachers in the media and in society, the sociocultural implications of education policy, and how to adopt a socially conscious pedagogical perspective for yourself. Before we do that, though, I do want to mention that I am impressed with the way that you have demonstrated your sociocultural competence thus far in this class. I think that when we consider ways to be a socially conscious educator, we can't just consider the ways that we teach our pedagogy skills. We also have to consider the ways that we assess student work as well. And diversifying those two things goes a long way in reaching a diverse group of students. So when I think of the things that you've done in this class, you have created infographics, you have written reflectively, you've written research types of papers, you've represented your ideas in both images and words. You really have demonstrated your social consciousness in a lot of different ways. And so I applaud your efforts to approach this course and the varied and diversified assessments with an open mind and lots of effort. And I think that your work has shown, for the most part, that you are a thoughtful, reflective, and innovative group of educators. So I'm looking forward to seeing your work for module number 7, and then the final paper, which is due a couple days after that. And as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to post them to the Q&A board or to send me an email.